Hey, everybody. We're back. We're back. Woo-wee, that quarantine and chill is off the chain, isn't it? And we're going to talk about that today because we got a good topic, a good title. My mind's playing tricks on me. Give me about 15 seconds and I'll be right back. Welcome.
This one for the streets that taught me lessons. They taught me about the grief and people out here stressing. They taught me how the evils wanna keep you from progressing. It's people in your circle wanna keep you from your blessings. No talking to them people when them people come with questions. This mama say no ratting. For them, that's his destiny. Be careful of the people you invest in.
All right, we are back. Happy Friday. It's like I said, we on quarantine and chill. Hopefully y'all not going crazy. And speaking of crazy, the title of today's show is My Mind is Playing Tricks on Me. And now, I thought about just doing a show where I just kind of wing it. But I think just in case it's good, I'm gonna make it so that I can possibly use it as a podcast. So give me about 3 seconds and then I'm gonna start a podcast and then we just gonna talk. And if you have any comments, questions, things you want to add in, we all kind of in this thing together right now. We're literally together, but not technically together, right? Everybody's separated. So give me 3 seconds. We're going to start the podcast. And then, if your questions or your comments are pertinent to the topic, I'll talk about it. So here we go. And welcome to another episode of the Relationship Gumbo Podcast. My name is Derek Jones, and I am your host. I'm a certified life coach, an engineer, a strategist, and a mental health advocate. And today, our topic is My Mind is Playing Tricks on Me. Right? We got a lot of people that are losing their minds right now because they stuck in the house. And a lot of times, for a lot of people, this is new territory, right? And, I kind of like comedically said, people like myself who are classic introverts, we having a field day right now. This is how we live anyway. So the people that are really having the worst times of it right now, and, and no matter who you are, no matter what type of person you are, cabin fever is real, right? And, you don't want to stay cooped up in the house. You got to get some fresh air and do all that. That's normal. But the people that are having like severe like anxiety and they really can't deal because they got to be alone. They got to be by themselves. They got to be with their kids during the day. And they're not used to that. And I just want to talk about the why, right? Why do you have that anxiety? Why is it so difficult for you to stay in the house or be alone? And one of the main reasons is because a lot of the stuff you do outside is a distraction from stuff that you really are dealing with internally inside yourself or either in your home or both. And so you do these things outside the house to try to mask it. And now those things have been taken away. And now you're forced to deal with it. And a lot of times, for a lot of people, that's a debilitating thing. To have to deal with those issues that you've been masking for years and decades. And you go to work because you don't want to go home. Or you go to the happy hour because you had a bad week. Now you don't have that. And what do? And like I said, people are really going through it. And mental health is real. And a lot of times, a lot of the mental conditions that we go through, that we kind of brush under the rug, like anxiety, stress, depression, those type of things, but it may not necessarily be clinical, but it's still there. And we hide it and we mask it by doing things. And now that you can't do those things, it's starting to get real right now. You got time to think. You got time to sit and think instead of going out and filling that time with stuff. And so because of that, you're going to have to, and I had maybe 2 podcasts ago, I talked about spending time getting to know who you are for a change and not who you pretend to be. And your anxiety and your stress and your depression, you now have the unique ability to sit back and figure out why. And, you know, and I'm looking at some of the comments. We're talking about meditation and self-reflection. You know, you need to go ahead and get some stuff done now before they shut everything down. If you got to shop for stuff, you just never know what's coming. So it's time to be prepared. And, you know, I wanted to talk about this because even though I'm not going through this stuff, because I'm good. Like, you give me my little toys and my stuff at home and I'm good. Like, I don't need to be running the streets and going crazy because I can't sit in the house for 24 hours. That's not who I am. But I do recognize that there are people who need to be out. And you know, this is a dating, relationship, communication show. And so you got to think about it. Think about if you're in a relationship and you work all the time and you got a side hustle and you're busy. Now you have a unique opportunity to spend time with your significant other. And sometimes it's great to do that. And sometimes it puts like a microscope on the dysfunction. Catch that. And then you really gotta deal. You gotta deal. Even with your kids, right? It's a good part of the year, your kids are out of the house during the day. Now you gotta deal with the nuances of that. For a lot of people, for the first time since they've had kids, now they gotta deal. We all gotta try to figure this thing out. But it's really about finding your peace inside the house so you don't have to rely on the outside of the house to grant you your peace. That's the lesson here. Find your peace inside the house. Find your peace inside yourself. Because you should be able to function whether we're in this crisis or not because you have inner peace. Catch that. Doesn't matter what kind of quarantine or crisis there is. If you have inner peace and you know how to get into your happy place inside your head and feel good about that, doesn't matter about this, right? It's different because in my short lifetime, I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. But if you have peace, then it's going to be all right. But if you never had peace, and you're scurrying, trying to figure out ways to be just okay, because you know that peace doesn't exist. You're going through it right now. You're going literally crazy right now. You don't even know what to do. Watching Netflix ain't enough. Get on the computer, looking up stuff, trying to start that business that you probably should have started, trying to find another source of income because your job is shut down. You're literally going crazy and can't even do that. And I use the word crazy lightly. I'm a mental health advocate. I don't literally mean crazy, but you're definitely going through it. Because I don't like to use that word. But you're going through it. And I want to, and I have, people that are doing similar things to what I'm doing. But for my audience to hear my voice say, the answer is for you to find your peace. Peace of mind. Over everything, right? And that I always talk about on this show. When you find your peace, then everything and everyone that you're responsible for benefits from it. But if you're in a state of chaos, the environment around you gets infected by it, just like a virus. And you don't even realize it. And sometimes the effects of it don't show up for years, but it's there. A toxic you creates a toxic environment, right? It's like if you had like a bowl full of water and you put some food coloring in it, that water is not going to stay clear. Everything in that bowl starts to turn red or green or whatever color it is. That came from you. So you got to think about that. And I really need for you guys to keep, figure out, now is the opportunity for you to connect with people that you probably, have been dodging because you're dealing with stuff. And maybe part of the solution is to connect, right? You got to try a little bit of everything, right? Some people say, read a book, do this, do that. You got to find out what works for you. Now you have the opportunity to spend that time to do that. And it means a lot to me, and hopefully your family, friends, the society, community around you, that you're okay, right? That's why I do this, right? I'm not perfect, but I want everybody to be okay, or at least close to it. Let's be okay. Let's have some peace, because, you walk around, and I always talk about these people that walk around and they snarling all the time, and they got their little nose crinkled up, and I'm like, that's gotta hurt, because you gotta keep that on all the time. The crinkled up face ain't cute. You don't have to be upset every day. Let's find a happy place so that you can use that positive energy to infect other people with it. And then everybody with the snarl face changes. It starts with one, right? That's why I got a problem with these people. Like, people, not a problem because, it's a part of our society, but people that have to be hard all the time to protect themselves, or they don't want to look like a punk, and they walking around snarling and yelling and snapping and cursing. Think about that for the rest of your life. You got to be like that. It's time to make a change. I would say that in my Michael Jackson voice, but I really can't do that. It's time to make a change. You got to make a change. Like, you can think about it like this, right? This is how I operate in life. When you have a goal, right? And your goal, whatever it is, once you identify what that goal is. So if your goal may be, I need to find peace. Your goal may be, I need a better job. Whatever that goal is, I need my relationship to be better. You have to realize that, and this is something that I learned being an engineer and a troubleshooter and a problem solver. There's always multiple ways to get to the solution, but we get caught up in trying it one time and it doesn't work and we quit. Whether that's on a relationship, whether that's trying to achieve your goals, figure out your purpose, we quit. But if you believe that there are multiple ways to get there, then your failure is just an opportunity for you to find a different way. And guess what? Now that you on quarantine and chill, you can start to explore those other options. And sometimes you might need help. You might need somebody to kind of help you work through some of that stuff. They always say 2 heads are better than one. You may need some help. And it's okay to get help. I always talk about that. It's okay to get help. So while you got this time, it's time for you to get out your own head. Stop letting your mind play tricks on you, and realize that you need to be a better version of yourself, no matter where you are in your life. It's been time getting to figure out why you feel the anxiousness and the anxiety. Because you got to think about it, right? This is where my mind goes with this. If you stayed home in the house for 24 hours, just 24 hours, and you start shaking, and you're like, I can't do this. I got to get out the house. You got to ask yourself why. Right? Why are you so anxious to get out of the place that you call home that's supposed to be your safe space? I didn't say 2 months. I said 24 hours. That says more about you than it does the actual quarantine itself. I need you to hear my words. Please hear my words. If you cannot sit in your own space with yourself for a day or two, there's a bigger problem here. And you got to really think about that. And the way that you look at that, just like I talk about everything else, pay attention to your behavior. Pay attention to your behavior. If you have severe anxiety right now, and you can't even relax in your own home, there's a problem somewhere. And a lot of times that problem is in your house. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes that problem is in your house. And sometimes we spend a lot of time outside the house escaping the problem. And we call it things like happy hour. I got to work late. I got to take the kids to 3,000 football games so that I can be occupied. And the kid is like, I don't want to do this. No, oh no, we going. Gotta ask yourself, what's really going on? And I'm looking at the comments here. It's something, and I'm gonna say this very lightly about, burning sage and all of that, because some people are like, oh, it's the devil if you burn sage. You do what you gotta do, right? I'm nobody's judge. You do what you gotta do to make your space with positive energy, positive vibes, a positive version of you, a peaceful version of you. A peaceful version of you is okay chilling by yourself. A conflicted version of you can't sit still. And people can say, oh, that's just how I am. No, we're talking about 24 hours, 48 hours. You just can't do it. I need you to sit back and think about that. You sitting at home and your hand and your arm shaking and you like, I can't do it. There's something going on. And and you really gotta, I'm gonna keep saying this because I know there's somebody listening to this that needs to hear this. Because I see it online every day. I know you guys do. And people got cabin fever after 24 hours. How? Like, when you live in an area where you get snow and you may be snowed in for a week and people are like, I got cabin fever. It's been a week. I get that. 24 hours, you don't have cabin fever. You got some issues. That's right. I said it. You got some issues. And we all have our own issues. That just might be yours. Right? It's people that wouldn't call themselves, and this is keeping it real. There's people out here that won't say they're an alcoholic, but they cannot go a Friday without getting drunk. Right? And then you got to ask yourself, why do you have to get drunk? Have to. I didn't say want to or need to take the edge off. I say have to. You're escaping maybe your work stress. You're escaping something by doing that. Because we're not talking about tipsy. We're talking about drunk. I need to feel drunk in order for me to feel better. That's just one thing. Got to think about that. And I'm on here saying this now because I don't pre-plan a lot of these topics. These things just come to me because I know that there's people out here that think it's just me. I'm the only one that thinks like this. You're not. There's probably more people out there like you than not. And once you realize that there's more people out there like you, and you know that there's a problem, then we can find a solution. And that's what I do. I'm a problem solver. I look at the problem and I put all the puzzle pieces together. It could be 10,000 pieces. I'm going to figure it out. And I won't rest until I do. That's why I do this. I want to make sure you guys understand that everything you're going through is a puzzle. Right? If you look at your problems as a puzzle, they can be solved. But if you look at them as just problems, they're going to haunt you for the rest of your life. Please catch that one. Solve the puzzle. You ever did a puzzle before? And I'm going to start to close. You ever did a puzzle before when you was little? And the last few pieces of it you just couldn't get? And then you had to ask your parent, can you help me get this last couple pieces I can't figure out? Sometimes you can't do it all by yourself. And you have to acknowledge that and not be afraid of looking away or feeling your pride is in the way because you asked for somebody for help. Don't you want to be a better version of yourself? You should want to. And if you don't, now is the time for you to reflect. And we're not talking about I had a hard day at work. I'm talking about some stuff that happened when you was like 10. Like you still carrying it. Just like I said on my was it the last podcast when I was talking about men and toxic masculinity and not feeling safe to say that, and there was one thing that I said about there's a little kid that's inside you that has all the information and just been holding on to it and is trying to fight to get that information out. The level of peace that you achieve by letting it out, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it. So figure it out. Figure out the puzzle. And if you can't get help, because I don't want to run into on the street the angry, snarl-faced, conflicted version of you. I want you to be smiling and happy and saying good morning and all that good stuff. I want that to come from inside you. I don't want the fake version, the head nod. I don't need that. So on that note, I'm going to let you guys go. And I want you guys to have a great, great day, a great weekend, and spend time figuring it out. If you're shaking at home and you just can't sit in the house for 2 hours, you got to figure out why. That's all I got for you. Enjoy your day. And I will see you on the next one. I can't even tell you when the next one's going to be because we got time now. I might just pop up tomorrow. So y'all enjoy, and I will talk to you soon. All right, we're off. Hey, Lady T, welcome again. Thank you for your support. Alicia's here. And anybody that's on the replay, because I know these things just pop up and you're not used to me popping up on certain days, but I'm here. And if you follow me on, if you follow me on Facebook, I'm going to be on somebody else's live tonight around 7 or 8 p.m., but I'll post it. And I think we're going to be talking about relationships on that show too. I just found that out. So I'll post that on Facebook and I'll probably, depending on how it goes, I will, extract the video and put it on like YouTube or whatever, but it should be fun. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later and you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
This before the streets that taught me lessons. They taught me about the grief and people out here stressing. They taught me how the evils wanna keep you from progressing. It's people in your circle wanna keep you from your blessings. No talking to them people when them people come with questions. This mama say no ratting. For them, death is destined. Be careful of the people you invest in.